I've been using social media more this past maybe month or so. I just started doing more shorts on YouTube to kind of expand and hopefully reach more audience. And then through that, I kind of got Instagram, which I had been using for uploading drawing last year. And I've just found like the more that I've gotten into it, the communities around it and the comments are just really argumentative and kind of toxic, to be honest, because like the arguments and stuff that happen on Instagram and stuff or on YouTube comments aren't the kind of conversations you'd have with people in real life. And since we're hiding behind a screen, we're like feeling that we're right. You know, I've got caught myself quite a lot doing this, like watching something like with the World Cup, like seeing a decision and like, oh, how wasn't that a penalty? How wasn't that a foul? How wasn't that a red or yellow card? And then seeing people comment, oh, it wasn't because of this, wasn't because of that, and then, you know, just getting agitated and want to write a comment about how they're wrong and how I'm right. And it's such like a silly little thing, like it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but for some reason it becomes so consuming, like, and I think it's really driving engagement for these platforms, and that's why they're allowing it. They're not really moderating it or doing it, because some people will literally just like they call like I haven't been on Instagram for a while, but they call it Ragebaits. So I'm like up with the other people of my time. Like apart from that, I would just live under a rock. And if people had like told me about like Ragebait or I'm him or like just any of these kind of like I don't know, newer terms, I would just be like, what the heck are you talking about? Like Riz, what are you talking about? Like what is that stuff? But like it seems like a lot of it's just like kind of rage baity, like trying to get people to get angry and then comment on it because it drives more attention and drives more conversation and more conflict between people. And it just feels really bad to be in that state. Like I would so many times these past couple of weeks, I found myself like writing these comments to people. And then I just stop myself and be like, why am I even doing this? Like, this is silly. I shouldn't be like doing this because it's just going to be a back and forth kind of argument. They don't want to see, they think they're right. So, you know, I may be wrong, but I think what I think is right. And, you know, I'm just thinking like in real life, like the friends that I have, like we don't see eye to eye on everything. Like I have a friend and he's really into metal and metal music, and metal music isn't my first choice, to be honest. But like through going to that concerts and stuff, you know, I'm exposed to new things, I'm exposed to new ideas, new kind of people, and that kind of environment that I usually wouldn't be in. And oh my God, I was going to say that makes me a more diverse person, and that's something else that I'm going to get into. But like it opens up my mind to see things that I normally wouldn't, and I think that's actually a benefit rather than being stuck on social media and stuck in these kind of thoughts and just arguing with people, trying to be right rather than trying to see other people's views. And it just kind of frustrates me, like we're making big deals about stuff that doesn't really matter. And you know, there's been a lot of hate for movies recently. Like I haven't watched the new Supergirl, whatever it is, but there's also the Odyssey coming out, which I've been excited about because Christopher Nolan's a great director. I love kind of the medieval kind of stuff like that, and I haven't read the Iliad, to be honest. I haven't read much of Homer, but I've read different stories of the same kind of Troy. But just like the hate, just because it's like being diverse. Like I don't really care about diversity. I don't care about whether it's black, Asian, or transgender or whatever. Just don't put it in my face. I don't really care. Like if you're gonna make a big deal about it and shove it down my throat, then I don't care about you. I don't really want to. I don't care about what you're thinking or what your thoughts are. So don't try and like shove it onto me, because I don't care about this stuff. And I think a lot of the pride stuff kind of just is, it's too much, it's too over the top. Like just, all right, you're gay, you want to be transgender, whatever. Just be that, do that, go on with your life. Don't make it my problem. Don't say that I can't be proud to be a straight white male. Like that's kind of low-key racist and sexist, and that's what they're against. So it's very kind of contradictory. But as I was talking about with the Odyssey movie, like, I don't really care whether Helen of Troy is a black woman, because it's not about the Troy story. It's about the aftermath of it. It's about Odysseus. And, you know, movies are made to be fiction. They're made to be stories that we follow and kind of worlds that we immerse ourselves in. But now it's becoming political, and I really hate that, because people are hating on it because they're like, oh, they've cast this black woman as Helen of Troy, and she shouldn't be Helen of Troy because she probably wasn't black, and two, you know, it's kind of being too like racially assumptive, and you know, we want this person, we want more Greeks in there, I get it, but like, this is a movie. This isn't this isn't reality. This isn't a historic documentary, historically accurate documentary. Like, it's made to be a movie, something that we consume, and the main thing should be, when you sit down to watch it, do you enjoy it? Is it a good story? Does it have good acting? Does it have good writing? Do you like the cinematography of it? And if you do, then like, great, it's a good movie. But if you don't, then just get on with your life, because why are you engaging so much time in things that you hate? Why are we so drawn to it? Like, if you are just going onto the trailer, if you're going to watch the movie just to dislike it and talk about how bad it is, then I think your life's kind of sad. And I think that's honestly a reflection of our current age. You know, like, you know, with social media and stuff, you know, like I'm thinking of like the Fight Club kind of scene. Like, we're promised to be great rock stars, great famous people, great musicians, great, why am I saying musicians? Great like sports people, you know, we're promised all this stuff, and then as we go on, we kind of realize that that's not really the truth. And, you know, and social media makes it worse, because we're seeing all these extreme examples of people at the highest, and, you know, it's very debilitating when we're stuck working day-to-day jobs, just kind of in this dreary lifestyle, and that builds up a lot of resentment, because, you know, you want to be in a different state, you want to be earning the money, you want to be in other places that you see other people on social media. And then that hatred just gets spread into these kind of comments about random arguments on YouTube, because people are stuck in their lives and they're not enjoying themselves and they're not having a great time. So that resentment has to come out somewhere, because they feel stuck and they feel so much hatred and resentment. But yeah, it's just kind of frustrating, because, you know, I can't say whether the Odyssey is going to be a good movie or not, but I know that I'm going to watch it. I think I'll likely enjoy it. I may read the Iliad to kind of have a reference to it, but, you know, like, some of my favorite movies, like some Studio Ghibli movies, like they base it off of the books, but Hayao Miyazaki doesn't follow the books to a T. He just is inspired by them and then makes his interpretation of it. And I think that's much better than just copying something to a T and just following this exact kind of example of what it should be. And, you know, whether they are doing it to be woke or whatever, to be more diversive by having black and a transgender person in there, I don't really care, to be honest. Like, if it is, whatever. If that acting's bad, then it's kind of a questionable decision to me, to be honest, but we'll see how the movie goes and what the role and what the intention of those choices are. But yeah, it just kind of frustrates me how much I've been finding myself angry at the internet, angry online about random people and their thoughts. Like, they're allowed to have different thoughts, they're allowed to have diverse thoughts. Like, as I said about my friend who likes metal, and me going to like metal concerts like every now and then with him, and seeing his metal band just makes me kind of appreciate and open my mind a little bit more, rather than being dismissive of it and saying like, no, like, metal's just this kind of thing, like putting stereotypes on what I think it is, rather than like experiencing it and seeing the culture behind it and trying to understand these people. You know, it's literally as like Confucius said, under the heaven, under the stars, there is but one family. So yeah, that's kind of a quick video. I've got what I said, I got what I wanted to say out quickly, and I think that's honestly been as a result of doing more shorts, because I have to keep my words concise. I have to say things a bit faster. I have to get my point across in the right way. And I think that's actually been beneficial for these longer form videos, which I'm surprised by. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Wait. I just want to take a moment to think if I've missed anything, because last couple of videos I feel like I missed stuff. Alright, no thoughts come up when I do this. Like, as soon as I finish this and I upload it, I'm like, I could have said that, I could have said this, could have said that, I could have said this tighter. But let me think. I'm just gonna... Social media, engagement, kind of these controversial topics and getting more engagement. Just trying to get clicks by having more conflict. Yeah, I think I've got everything across, so sorry about that. You didn't have to watch those last minutes, but thank you.